These are some of the things that we need to note when we're using both, neither, and either. So we're targeting 3 structures, remember. So there are a few things we need to note. Again, have your pen and paper ready to take some notes. Let's look at the first thing. When you use both of, you can also simply use both. So remember, both of was one of the structures that we looked at, but we can simply use both. Look at these 2 sentences. Both of the smartphones are using the latest technology. This is a good sentence. We can also omit of if we wish. We can simply say, both the smartphones are using the latest technology. Both of these sentences are good. Now the next thing we have to note is that you can use both, neither, and either alone if your intended meaning is clear. So this means we don't have to use a whole sentence using these words. We can simply say the word if the meaning is clear. Here's an example. The dad says, "Do you want a chocolate bar or an ice cream?" The child simply replies, "Both." That means, I want both of them. Do you see? So the dad gave the child a choice. Do you want a chocolate bar or an ice cream? So he gave him a choice of 2 things, but the child says both. In other words, he wants the chocolate bar and the ice cream. And here is another example using neither. So Jill says, "Will you have a glass of wine or a beer?" Henry replies, "Neither. I'm driving, so I'll just have a glass of juice, thanks." So originally he simply said neither. That means I want neither of them. Remember, neither is negative, so he's saying I don't want wine or beer. Thank you. And here's one more example using either. Tom says, "I'm booking the hotel for our trip. Which one shall we stay at? This one or this one?" And Carol replies, "Either. I really don't mind." So this simply means either of them is fine. She's trying to say, you can choose this one or this one. I don't mind. I will let you choose. Because remember, either is a choice between 2 things. So Carol is trying to say, you choose. I'm happy with either one. And the final thing to note is this. Either is positive and neither is negative. We can use a negative word with either to mean neither. So it sounds a bit confusing, but have a look at this example. It will make it much clearer. I can say, I was invited to 2 weddings, but I couldn't go to either of them. So this means that I couldn't go to any of the weddings. Now, the second sentence is exactly the same meaning. It says, I was invited to 2 weddings, but I could go to neither of them. These sentences mean the same thing. It means I couldn't go to any of the 2 weddings. Those are the things that you need to note. Now you should move on to the speaking and listening practice lectures. They will take your level of understanding higher, and you will train your brain to master these 3 structures. See you in the next lecture.